Hey, third grade, it's Miss Fifield. Miss you guys so much, but I am ready to work today on our week 5, day 4 packet. So if you don't have that, pause this video and get it. Okay. So we are going to start with our fluency. Our fluency's been getting a little tricky. They're kind of like riddles. So we're going to do this together. Are you ready? The directions say, using the digits 1 to 9 at most one time each, fill in the boxes to make the latest time possible. Okay, so what I've already done here is I've put our digits 1 through 9, okay? The digits are the numbers of 1 through 9, all right? And I have those out so that as we use them, we can cross them out because the directions say we can only use them one time each. So we are going to try to make the latest time possible here. But then notice it gives us 2 more spaces for minutes after. So not only are we going to make a really late time, as late as we can, we're also going to take some more numbers so that we can make a time that's even later. So whatever we put here, that many minutes after the time that we make, to make the absolute latest time that we possibly can, okay? So we're going to start here first. Now, we know that on a clock, it goes all the way, the latest time would be in the 12 o'clock hour, right? But we only have one box for one digit. So we can't put 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. But we can put 9 o'clock. So I am going to write a 9 here, okay? 9. And now that I've used it, I have to cross it off. I cannot use the number 9 again. Now, next come the minutes. Now our minutes cannot exceed the number 59 because when we get to 59 minutes, when it goes to the 60th minute of the hour, it becomes the next hour. So I cannot put an 8, a 7, or a 6 there because my clock will only go to 59 at the latest. So I put my 5 here and cross that off. Now I said 59 is the latest, but I can't put 59 because I've already used this 9. The next biggest number, the closest to 59 I can get, is 58. I'm going to cross off an 8 as well. And down here I have this just to remind us, and we remember that there's 60 minutes in an hour. So that's why that's there. Now, I can use as many minutes. I want the biggest minutes possible so that I can get the latest time possible here. So my big digits that are left are 6 and 7. Now I could make the number 67 with 6 and 7, but that's not the biggest number that I can make with those digits because I want my biggest number in my tens place. So if I put 7 in my tens place and 6 in my ones place, I have 76 minutes after 9:58. Now we can add to figure out what time that is, okay? So I'm going to start, I'm really close to 10 o'clock already. So I'm going to take 2 minutes from 76 and add them here, and that would get me to 10 o'clock. I'm going to write 10 o'clock here. That's 2 minutes later. Now I still have 74 minutes left. I know there are 60 minutes in an hour. So if I add 60 minutes, that gets me to 11. And I still would have, took 2 away and then I took 60. So I have 74 and then I took 60. So I have 14. I can add 14 minutes to 11 o'clock. And that gives me 11:14. That is the latest possible time I can make with these digits given this layout. If you can come up with a later time different than what I did, call me and tell me what it is because this is as late as I can come up with. You do it better. That's awesome. And I want to hear about it. And I want to share your work. So if you come up with something later, let me know, okay? But I think that this is as late as we can get. 76 minutes after 9:58, which would give us 11:14. Okay, that's a crazy question. But we did it. All right, new learning. This is new, but this is kind of where we were leaving off at school. So some of this might not feel new to you because we did start to talk about this stuff. Each fraction strip, so here's your fraction strips, equals one whole. The fraction strips are equal in length. That means they're the exact same size. So you see they start and end in the same place, okay? Color one fractional unit in each strip, then answer the questions below. Mine are on the next page, but yours are below in the packet. So they have 1/8 that's decomposed into eighths, 8 equal pieces, 1 is shaded, and 1/6, 6 equal parts, 1 is shaded. That's already done for us. Now, number 2 says to circle less than or greater than. Remember, less than means it's smaller, greater than means it's bigger. And then you can whisper the complete sentence. I'm going to read it, okay? This says 1/8, and then it gives you the choices of is less than or is greater than 1/6. I have to click back, but you can just flip over your page because it's on the previous page for you. 1/8 is smaller, right, than 1/6, because if we have this same size, let's say it's a candy bar, and I share it with 8 people, we have to make smaller pieces. If I only have to share it with 6 people, we would each get a little bit bigger of a piece. So 1/8 is less than 1/6 is how we would read that sentence. The fraction strips are equal in length and they're lined up. I can compare by looking at the fractional units I colored and seeing which one is bigger. 1/8 is smaller than 1/6, so it's less. I could also write that as 1/8 is less than 1/6, or 1/8 in unit form is less than 1/6. When I read it, I say 1/8 is less than 1/6. Same information, just in different forms. Fraction form, unit form, and then written out in word form. These symbols mean less than and greater than. Remember, less than would be like this way, greater than is this way. Pretend it's an alligator mouth and it's open to the bigger part, right? Because alligator is always so hungry. So would it want, the alligator mouth want to eat the smaller or the bigger piece? It always wants to eat the bigger piece. So it's turned to that side. Number 3, label the unit fraction. In each blank, draw and label the same whole with a shaded unit fraction that makes the sentence true. There might be more than one correct way to make the sentence true. I need to draw the same rectangle and partition it into equal parts that are greater than 1/3, because the sentence reads 1/3 is less than blank. This shape is partitioned into thirds, so 1/3 is the unit fraction. You see it here. Halves are greater than thirds, so I can draw a rectangle and partition it into halves. I can shade one part and label the shaded part as 1/2. Now my sentence says 1/3 is less than 1/2. That is true because this piece is smaller than that piece. Now let's try it. Each fraction strip is one whole. All the fraction strips are equal in lengths. One fractional unit. Well, we're going to shade one fractional unit in each strip, then answer the question below. So you take your pencil, whatever you're working with, and shade one fractional unit. So in 1/2, you're going to shade 1/2. So take a moment and do that. I'm going to do the best I can with these computer markers here. It's not going to be pretty, but it is the best I can do here. All right. Once you're done with 1/2, you'll also shade 1/4, so one fractional unit here, 1/4, and then When you're done with that, you'll do 1/8. And you'll do 1/3. And if I'm going too fast for you to shade this, you can pause the video and you can catch up. Okay. So it should look just like that. Probably a little better because I'm doing it with these computer markers here and it's a little sloppy. All right. So at the top of your packet, you see what I have up on my screen. And then on the bottom, we're going to be using the words and the fractions down here. We're going to circle less than or greater than and then whisper the complete sentence. So I don't have this all in one page. I'm going to flip back and forth, but you do have it. So you can just look up your shading here and then we're working down here, okay? The first one says 1/2 is less than or greater than 1/4 right here. 1/2 is less than or greater than 1/4. So let's look at 1/2 and 1/4. So they're right by each other. 1/2 is greater or 1/2 is less than 1/4. We see 1/2 is greater. So we're going to circle greater than. And then read it out loud. Read it with me. 1/2 is greater than 1/4. Okay? Then we'll go back and forth here. B, 1/3 is less than or greater than 1/2. So we need to look at 1/3 and 1/2. Here's 1/3 and here's 1/2 at the top. Let's see. 1/3 is smaller, right, than 1/2. So 1/3 is less than, and then we can read it together. 1/3 is less than 1/2. Great job. The next one is 1/2 is less than or greater than 1/8. So we need to look back, or you'll look up at 1/2 and 1/8. 1/2 is here, 1/8 is here. 1/2 is definitely much bigger than 1/8. So 1/2 is greater than 1/8. And D, 1/8 is either less than or greater than 1/4. We're going to look for 1/8 and 1/4. 1/8 and 1/4. Let's see. 1/4 is bigger, 1/8 is smaller. So 1/8 is less than. Can we read that together? 1/8 is less than 1/4. All right. Now, here, label the unit fraction. In each blank, draw and label the same whole with a shaded unit fraction that makes the sentence true. There is more than one correct way to make the sentence true. The first one is an example. We're going to look at that together. The sample they gave us is 1/4 is less than 1/2. Okay, so we had to find something that was bigger than 1/4. And 1/2 is what they chose. So notice this was a circle. They had to use a circle here too. This had to be a circle and it had to be the same size. Once the circle is drawn, then you can partition it and make it so that it makes this statement true, okay? For number 1, this is a square and it needs to be a square here too, and it needs to be the same size. You're gonna do the best that you can to make that be true, okay? I'm gonna use this shape here and I'm gonna make a square that's the exact same size, and then I'm gonna move it, okay? You're not gonna be able to do that. You can just do the very best that you can to make it be true, okay? So that it has to match. All right, and then this is 1/3. They didn't give us the fraction, we have to write it. So we're gonna write 1/3. And now this is 1/3 is greater than blank. Now we have to partition this square that's the same size as this square to make this statement true. 1/3 is greater than. We need to find something less or smaller than 1/3. I'm going to flip back so we can look here. We need something smaller than 1/3. I see two fractions on this page that are smaller than 1/3. I see 1/4 here and 1/8. Both are true. You could pick either of those, or you could pick a different fraction that's not listed that is also true. That is less than 1/3 as a smaller piece. So I'm going to go for fourths. And I'm going to do the very best I can to make these the same size parts. I'm going to make 3 lines. I know 3 lines gives me 4 parts. Like this. And then I'm going to shade the best I can, shade 1/4. And I am, of course, going to label that as well. And then we read it together. 1/3 is greater than 1/4. Okay? The next one, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are tenths. So the first thing you need to do is label 1/10. Then I need to create a shape that is the same size. I'm able to do that like this. You're going to have to draw it as best you can to make it the same shape as and size. If it's not perfect, that's okay, but you can do the best you can. 1/10 is greater than blank. So using what we already know about fractions, to find a fraction that is going to be a smaller piece than 1/10, that means we would have to share it with even more than 10 people. So we could do twelfths, and that would make it true. We could do 1/12 because twelfths are going to be smaller pieces than tenths. So I'm going to write 1/12, and then I'm going to decompose this into 12 equal parts the very best that I can. I'm going to go across this way first. And then I need 6 parts because 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Well, doing 2 rows of 6 will give me 12. That means I need 5 lines. So I'm going to do my very best to make these the same size, all of them, okay? Not too bad. Okay, Miss Fifield. And we will shade one piece. The very best we can do here, okay. Looks decent. We read this 1/10 is greater than 1/12, meaning that one little piece over here is slightly larger than this piece here. Okay? 2 more. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are twelfths. Okay. 1/12, we label. Now, 1/12 is less than blank, so something greater. And we know that we're going to get the opportunity to do many correct answers. I'm going to start by making my rectangle about the same size, as close as I can get. And then I need to move it over here. Oops. Oh my goodness. This is getting difficult. Oh my gosh. It's just like trying to use the smartboard at school. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Let me do this. So sorry, guys. Thank you for your patience during this technical difficulty here. All right. There's my rectangle. Let me move this over. All right. We need a fraction that's going to be a bigger piece than than that tiny little 1/12 is going to be. There's more than one correct answer. So we know from this example above of the tenths and twelfths that the more pieces it's decomposed or partitioned into, the smaller those pieces are. If we only partition this into, say, fourths, those pieces are going to be much bigger. So I'm going to choose fourths. You can do fourths too, or you can do something different. And because they did theirs kind of crisscross like that, I'm going to do mine crisscross into 4 pieces like this. No, I'm not. Those don't look very equal in size, do they? That wasn't a good idea. I'm going to stick to straight lines. 3 lines to make 4 equal parts. That seems like a better idea. And you can still tell that that piece is definitely much bigger over here, my 12th, my 4th, than my 12th from over there. So let's get this shaded in and labeled 1/4. Okay, so we've got 1/4. Oops, nope. 1/12 is less than 1/4 is how you would read that. Okay, last one. This side is blank. So we need to find something here. We need to draw and label something that is greater than what we see over here. This looks like 3, 6, 9, 12. Another example of 1/12. Okay. We'll label that, and then we need to find something that is greater than 1/12. Okay. So we knew that 1/4 would be greater than 1/12 because partitioning into 4 parts is going to give you bigger parts than partitioning into 12, right? Sharing this candy bar with 12 people is going to give you a little piece. If you only share it with 4 people, you get bigger pieces. So we need another example of a bigger piece. I think I'm going to go for half because I know a half is a lot bigger of a piece. And we'll see how this works for me. They're going to let me move it. Okay, there we go. Very good. I'm just going to decompose it right in half. I'm going to draw a line right down the middle. And then I'm going to shade 1/2. You can do 1/2 or you can do something different as long as it makes the statement true. There's lots of right answers. Whatever you choose, as long as it makes it true, it works. Make sure you label it. So if you didn't do 1/2, make sure you draw and then also label what you did. Okay? That's a lot of computer drawing today for me. All right, that is all your work for today. If you got stuck at any point, or you're not sure on something and I didn't show you it enough in the video, there's always the answers are down at the bottom here too. So if you need to check your figure, maybe you did something different than mine, you can check to see if yours is down here. It would give you another correct answer. Because like the directions said, there's multiple ways to do a lot of this work. If you need help with anything at all, if you need help with your math packets or your reading packets, or you need help with logging into Teams or anything else like that, please reach out to any one of your teachers and we can help you. And if we can't help you, we will find someone who can help you to call you and your family and get you whatever it is that you need. So keep working hard, keep staying safe and healthy at home, call, text, email, whatever you need, and let us know how we can help you, okay? We're all here to help you, and we want to make sure you're being successful at home. So we are here for you. Let us know what we can do to make distance learning a little easier for you and your family, okay? All right, great job today. We will see you soon. Bye.